What's good, R&B squad? This is Out of Ruth. I trust that this message meets you guys in good spirits. If you are new here, we don't believe that you're here by accident. Welcome to this family. We're happy to have you. And Jesus is, of course, always happier. So, as I am recording this, it is very early on Saturday morning. I'm going to go ahead and schedule it to be released on Monday because I do feel in my spirit that that's the day that it needs to be released. That's the day that someone is going to need it for whom it is for. Okay? So it is two separate messages, and for some of you, both messages can apply to what is happening in your life right now. And there is also a song that the Lord put on my heart that I'm going to share with you all. There's a message in there also. The song may be a message on its own for some of you, or it may tie into the messages that I'm about to deliver first. Okay, so let me get into the first message. The first message comes from a dream that I had. In this dream, there were these two men. On the surface, they looked somewhat similar. On the surface, and I need y'all to pay close attention to that and let that register in your spirit. Let it register with the spirit man or the spirit woman, okay? So these two men, on the surface, they did look similar. However, there was one who would have been deemed more physically attractive than the other because he had certain things, like he had more of an athletic build. Maybe he was a little bit taller. Okay, so by societal standards, he may have been considered the more attractive one of the two. Not to say that the other gentleman was not attractive. The other gentleman was attractive as well. But the second gentleman, he would have been perceived by most persons as to be the more attractive of the two. Okay, and it seemed as though he knew it because he was basically comparing himself with this other gentleman, and he was saying stuff about this other gentleman. Now, let me tell y'all a little bit about the other gentleman so that we can have some context here. The other gentleman who was of the slimmer build, the one who wasn't necessarily as attractive as the second one, he worked a bunch of different jobs. He worked a bunch of different jobs. He was basically a man who was concerned about getting his bills paid and providing for those around him who needed him to provide for them. Okay? So that was his main concern. And so he was making sure that he worked a bunch of different jobs so that he could be able to accomplish that. Now, brother who was the better looking one by societal standards, the one who seemed to be a bit more physically attractive, I believe he only had one job. I think he was a model or something, or at least he looked like one. And so he kind of looked down on the second guy because the second guy had all of these different jobs that he did to make ends meet and to provide for those around him. And he was throwing that in that guy's face, and he was also comparing himself physically. He was like, look at me and look at him. I've got this and I've got that and I've got this and this and this, and so on and so forth, basically to make the other guy look bad. And that was the end of the dream, okay? Now, when I sought the Lord about it, this dream has so many different meanings for so many different people. For some of y'all, now peep this. For some of y'all, it actually is the choice between two partners, the choice between two marriage prospects. For some of you. For others of you, it has nothing at all to do with marriage prospects. It has everything to do with a place, a job, a career move, a choice. There's an option. There are two options that you have to choose between. Okay? Forgive all the noise in the background, guys. I'm outside, but hang on to my voice, okay? And I believe a lot of the noises and distractions will stop in a moment. So, for some of y'all, these two men represented two different places. Some of y'all are looking to move, okay? Where you currently are right now seems convenient. It may be a bigger place. There may be a lot of perks that come with staying there. But in your move, you will gain more independence. You see, the second man, the man who was being criticized by, the first man who was being criticized by the second man for working a bunch of different jobs and not being as physically attractive, at least he could pay his bills. At least he was independent. At least he could take care of those who depended on him. Okay? The first man, I don't know, not so much, because models do make some money, but you got to be a model who is in demand in order to make a certain amount of money. Okay? So he was basically going off of what was really superficial, which was just his physical appearance, and that was it. Okay? That really was all he had to offer. For some of y'all, where you're at right now, where you're staying at, it could be a living situation. It may look real attractive to you. It may be a big space, but you don't have any independence there. Your needs cannot be met there. And if you really stop and think about it from a prayerful perspective and you let God guide you, you'll see that. So where you're going to move to, yes, you need to move, and where you're going to move to may not be as physically attractive as where you're staying right now. It may not be as big, it may not be as spacious, it may not be as roomy, okay? But just know that a lot of that space was literally empty space in the place where you're currently at. Empty space is not going to get you anywhere. Just like that guy was superficial in that dream. And he couldn't really provide the woman who was choosing between the two prospects with what she needed. Okay, all he really was just somebody to look at, a nice body, a pretty face, so to speak. Okay, so you don't want that. You want a place where your needs can be met. You want a place where you can be independent. So some of y'all, you're going to have to move from where you are currently to gain your independence. You're going to have to move from where you are currently, no matter if it's a bigger place, if you're not paying rent there or whatever the case might be. If you're not paying a mortgage there, if you're staying there for free, it might look real attractive, but you're sacrificing your independence. So you need to move, and where you move to might not be as big, it might not be as spacious, it might look at first like it doesn't have all of the perks, but your independence is priceless. And not just that. In your move, there are blessings attached. So even though you may be moving to a smaller place, even though you may be moving to a place where you may have, it may seem a little bit more like you have more responsibilities when you move there. One, you're going to gain your independence. And two, there are blessings in the move that are being prevented from reaching you right now where you are. Okay? Remember, the blessing is on the other side of your obedience. Always remember that. For some of y'all, this is a career move. It's a job move. So one prospect where you are currently may be looking like the more attractive prospect, but the blessing is in the move. Okay, so when you leave that job, you go to this other job. The blessing is with that other job. The independence that you're seeking is with that other job. Okay, for some of y'all, it is a business move. For some of you, it is an actual partner. So you have a choice between two people who are, they both want to be with you, okay? And for some of y'all, it hasn't happened yet. It will happen soon, okay? They both want to be with you. But there is one of them that's actually God's choice. There's one of them that's actually that person that is part of the three-strand cord, okay? And no, it's not the one that might seem more physically attractive. No, it's not the one who might seem like he has more fluff on the surface or like she has more fluff on the surface, okay? It's the one that God chose, and you need to seek God to find out which of these two people he chose, all right? So that's that message. Let me get into the second message and then into the song, which is tied to the second message, okay? Or for some of you, it may be a standalone message. So this second message also comes from a dream that I had. And in this dream, there was a gentleman. He was standing in this room that was semi-dark. There was some light coming in there, but it was kind of dark. And you could just barely discern his outline in that room, okay? But he was coming forward and stepping out to where there was a little bit more light so that he could speak with this lady, okay? He wanted to speak with her. And I had the impression as I looked at the two of them that they were each other's kingdom spouse. They were each other's God-ordained partner, okay? The woman seemed a little bit impatient. She seemed like she didn't want to hear what he had to say, but he wanted to talk to her. He wanted to talk to her, and she was looking at him like, I got to wake up early for work in the morning. I don't have time for this. And then he goes and pleads his case to a few of her family members, and he lets them know that he wants to talk to her, but that she doesn't want to talk to him. And she turns around and tells her family members, look, I don't have the luxury of taking the day off from work tomorrow. I got to go to work, so I can't stop to talk to him. I got to be in bed by a certain time. I've got a curfew, a self-imposed curfew. And that was the end of the dream. But I could tell that this man really had something that he wanted to talk to this woman about that was really important, okay? When I sought the Lord about it when I woke up, the way he broke it down to me, This is someone's current situation. There is somebody, your person, the person that God has told you that you're going to marry. You're either in separation from this person right now, or if you're not in separation from them, the two of you are going through a little bit of a rough patch. You're going through some difficulty. Okay? This person wants to talk to you. This person wants to come clean about certain things. This person wants to disclose information. They want to bring certain things to light. Notice the man was standing there in the semi-dark place, but he made a move to come toward the light where she could see him properly, okay? So for some of you, it's something that this person needs to tell you. And what's interesting about it is that this is part of the reason why you're impatient, because you think that this person is coming around again with small talk, and you don't have the time for small talk. You don't want to hear anything about how you've been, you don't want to hear that. You want this person to get straight to the point and to tell you what they need to tell you, what you know they need to tell you, because for some of you, you already know there are things that they're not telling you. You already know that there are things they're keeping from you. God has already gone before you and shown you that. You're just waiting for them to admit to those things. And you know, in many of these situations, what they're going to admit to, it's not even bad things. It's not even anything bad, okay? But they assume that if they say it to you, if they admit it to you, if they tell you about it, that one, you're going to be mad at them for keeping it from you for so long, because for some of you, this has been kept from you for quite some time, or you're going to be mad about the fact that they didn't trust you enough to tell you in the first place, or you're going to look at them differently. So these are the reasons, these are the assumptions they're coming up with in their minds as to why they're delaying and not telling you. But this man in this dream, he was coming from that dark place into the light to talk to her. So he clearly wanted to open up to her. But because he may not have done that in the past, and he may have come at her with all kinds of small talk instead of getting straight to the point, she's impatient. So for some of you, this is the point that you're at with your God ordained partner. Whether you're male or female listening to this, you can just flip it if you're a male. You are impatient with this person. The only way you're going to listen to them is if they come forward and come clean about the things you know they're keeping back from you, they're holding back from you. And then the two of you, the way you see it, that's how the two of you are going to be able to move forward. Hear me out. Listen to this person this time. Don't dismiss them. Don't just assume that they're not going to address the issues at hand. Don't assume that it's just going to be all small talk that's not going to lead anywhere. Be patient with this person. Hear them out. So this person is going to come forward. They're going to want to talk to you. And for some of you, if you refuse, this person insists that they need to talk to you. So they may go through someone who means something to you, a close friend, a family member, so that maybe that person can put in a good word for them. Okay? Notice in the dream, the man, he went and pleaded his case in front of her family to see if they could get her to change her mind. But ooh, she was stubborn. She did not want to hear what her family had to say. She did not want to hear what he had to say. Guys, if that's you and you're impatient, please be patient with this person. Which leads me to the song that the Lord put on my heart to share with y'all that's tied to this message. And for some of you, this is just a separate message on its own. It can stand on its own, the song that is. So the name of the song is Looking Through Patient Eyes by a group called PM Dawn. Okay. They're now defunct. I don't think they're any longer a band. Okay. But they used to be. And this song, now I've got this song on my playlist, but because I've heard it, y'all ever had a song on your playlist that you've heard so many times that you just skip it over when it comes on? So basically that's what I do with this song. I kind of just skip it over when it comes on. But this time, for some reason, I decided to listen all the way through until the other song came on. So I listened. And when I got to the chorus, God was like, listen to the chorus. Ignore everything else. Just listen to the chorus. I want you to listen to the chorus. And I was like, okay, Lord, I already know what the chorus is. I've only heard this song a million times. And God was like, just listen to the chorus. Focus on the chorus. So I did that and I focused on the chorus. So I'm going to put this song in the description box, but I want you guys to focus on the chorus only, not the rest of the song, okay? Because the chorus is what God highlighted to tie in with this message. So the chorus goes like this. Whatever it is I do, I'm always thinking of you. I have a love for you that nothing hides. Gosh, that is beautiful. Listen to it again. Whatever it is I do, I'm always thinking of you. I have a love for you that nothing hides. Whatever it is I do, I'm always thinking of you. I hope you look at me through patient eyes. So that's what this person is saying. That's how they feel. That this is what's on their heart. Your person is asking you to be patient with them. They know they're not perfect. They know they've messed up a lot in the past. They know they've done some things that could have cost them you altogether, that could have cost them the relationship altogether, that could have cost them the connection altogether. And they're just grateful that you're still willing to give them a chance. They're grateful for that. They see your value, but they're pleading with you to be patient with them. That's all they want. And God is asking you to be patient with this person as well. For him to put this song in my heart, it is his desire that you be patient with this person. And notice in the lyrics, it says, I'm always thinking of you. I have a love for you that nothing hides. No matter what this person does or whom they're with or who they're talking with, you're always on their mind. And not just that, their love for you is visible to the people around them. The people around them can see that they love you. They can see that whenever your name comes up, and trust and believe, your name will come up. Y'all got some haters that bring up your name, okay? And when your name comes up, even the haters cannot deny how much this person loves you because they can see it written all over them. Okay, so please be patient with this person. Again, I'm going to put the song in the description box for y'all to listen to and focus on the lyrics. And I hope that this message reached the right ears. I hope it blessed someone. I love you guys. I will be back with another word as soon as the Lord releases me. Take care.